Good morning, happy Tuesday. How are you doing out there this week? I hope you're having a very good time. And today, I hope that you've actually tuned in because I'm doing a great chat today. I'm doing a chat about how you make a habit out of a goal. And this is for people that want to get something done and it is something that they want to be good at. So let's say I've got my own example actually, because that's why I thought this would be perfect for this chat. So I have a goal of doing some facial exercises. So if you've never heard of face yoga, it's this method of face stretching that's supposed to help your face feel firmer and a little bit more tighter. And obviously I'm in my 30s now, so this is stuff that's kind of interesting to me. And I did know about face yoga years and years and years ago, but obviously I wasn't too bothered then because I was young and fresh-faced about wrinkles. So whilst I have been deciding that I'm going to rise to the challenge and do some face yoga, I thought it really reminded me of how I make my own goals habits, and how that may be something very useful for you people to know about, especially if you are trying to create your own goals and you're trying to stick to them. And this hopefully is going to help you out a little bit, and it's how you're going to make a habit out of a goal that you have. And it's not restricted to health and fitness, obviously that's what I'm here for. But it can be really for anything in life. It can be down to business, it can be standards that you want to elevate within yourself. So it's open to any goal, any idea that you want to make permanent in your life and how you might go about it. And I thought I would share with you how I go about creating and making new habits like face yoga, which is something that I really want to do. So I thought I'd walk you through how I go through setting my own goals and making sure that I stick to them. So first off, my first big tip would be that you have planned it. So sometimes we get caught up in the moment, basically. We see something, so I saw face yoga and I thought, oh my God, that looks brilliant, yeah, I should do it, oh, great. And I might do it in that moment that she's in there showing me the video of her stretches, but then I'm quite throwaway. So because you haven't planned it, you might have done it that one day and then tomorrow you forget all about the fact that you wanted to even do face yoga or whatever goal it is that you've got. And before you know it, the week kind of slips away. So you've kind of got it in the back of your head, but because you never planned to execute it, it's just a good idea at the moment, or an idea that you want to do. So if you have an idea that you've been thinking about for a while, but you haven't planned it, that might be why you're not doing it, because it's sporadic. You're sporadically thinking about it and you're sporadically doing the thing that you need to do to make that goal happen. So let's not be sporadic. First off, we're going to plan it. And when we plan things, some people can get really involved with their planning and they end up putting too many plans in the pot. And we only need a simple plan, a simple one to start with, especially if it's something that's brand new to you. So I'll put a couple of examples in. I'm obviously a PT and a confidence coach, and actually most of the time when I start working with people, they have planned it so well that they have set up their own failures because they've planned it. They've planned it so well that they're setting themselves up for failure because they're expecting that they're going to work out every day. If we're talking about weight loss, they're expecting that they're going to be great at diets. They're expecting that they're actually going to do that every single day. That's 3 big things there, and there's lots of little things within those big things. So when I'm talking about planning it, keep that plan simple. If you're trying to lose weight and it's overwhelming and you're always finding that you're failing or you're not meeting your own expectations, it's probably because you planned too big too soon. And what we need to do is have a little bit of encouragement. So don't chuck yourself in at the deep end. We're going to start in the shallow end. We're going to dip our little toes in, and we're going to see that it's not so bad and the water actually isn't bad either. And then we can take another step in. And before you know it, you're doing a great strong breaststroke all the way down to the deep end. Amazing. That's like taking on little things that feel good. So let's say instead of taking all of those 3 things, food, diet, doing it every day, setting up too many expectations of what you want, if you were to take it down to just be like, okay, great, I'm not good, I find that too much, that's going to kill me, it's overbearing, it's overwhelming. I'm going to take one of those things. So I'm going to ignore the diet. I'm going to not expect myself to do it every day. That's a big killer. And you would set maybe 3 days of workouts out of 5. And then as you find that actually doing 3 days isn't too bad, then you can take it up one as you get more invested in reaching the goal that you are trying to set. So for me, I want to do face yoga. Okay, I want to do face yoga. And here's my plan. My plan is to do it every day, Monday to Friday, but not weekends. And that was the same when I was doing workouts. I don't work out at weekends. So I know that I want to do face yoga. I've already seen sessions that are about 10 minutes long. So I've been and researched some of the moves that I'm going to do. And I now am left with about 5 to 10 minutes of stretches for my legs that I can do. So I know now I've got great, this is what I'm going to do. But what the next thing that I need to do is plan when we're going to do it. So a lot of people know their goal, they know that they need to get in there and they need to do it, but because they haven't created time especially for that in their day, it doesn't happen because there's no special time for it. And if that happens to you, that's okay. Also, some people here get a little bit annoyed with finding time for it because it feels like you actually have to go out your way and find a whole 3 hours. But we don't actually. Most of the time when we're doing a goal, mine, for instance, is only taking up 10 minutes. And when I was working out, when that was my goal, when my goal was to exercise, I found that hard and time was a thing. I did have a corporate job. I was working 9 to 5. I was commuting here, there and back again. And I found it very hard to be able to work out with my initial plan. My initial plan was to get home and work out. But I could just kept finding that throughout the day it wasn't happening. So I had to adjust the plan times and I made myself get up earlier. So I found, well, I created extra time in my day. And that was more because that was more of a motivational issue that I was having there. I needed to get it done so that I didn't have the day to talk myself out of it. That's also quite a clever thing to do. But when we're thinking about planning it, plan the times as well. So it doesn't have to take up a big chunk of your day. Mine were little 20-minute workouts I actually made myself get up earlier for. And with my face yoga, I'm planning on putting that into basically my getting ready routine. So we all have showers and, you know, we all put in lotions on our faces. Here we are, putting lotions on our faces. And that is when I've decided that I am going to do my face yoga. And that way it's only taking up about 10 minutes in my day, but I also know when it's coming. And I know that if after I've had my shower, I'm going to put my oils on and then I'm going to go and have a little face stretch. And it just makes it easier for me to put in there. And that's how it becomes actually more of a habit, because once you put things in, like when you get up in the morning, it's automatic that we have our breakfast and we brush our teeth. It's automatic. And it's automatic that you brush your teeth before you go to bed as well. So that has obviously something that we've learned as we've grown up. And that is the sort of habit making that we want to have, so that in the end it becomes automatic. It's not something that you think about, not something that annoys you, it's just something that you do. And that's a great way to do it. So first of all, we're going to make a simple plan. We're going to stick to one thing. We don't need to put too much expectations on our expectations. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to plan it. We're going to plan what we're going to do and when we're going to do it. And even don't make that bigger than it needs to be. Most time when we're making a little change in our life, we probably need to give it 30 minutes max for our attention, yeah? So we're only needing to find a little 30-minute window at the most. And then put it somewhere clever, that's undeniable, that you wouldn't think about it. So for me, I want to do face yoga, so it makes sense that I would do it after I put my oils on in the morning, and it's actually then I'm already thinking about my face, so I can put that in there. Nice. And when we start to do that regularly, that's how that becomes a habit. Here's what happens to people who are trying to make habits, to make goals habits, to make them a forever thing. Sometimes what we do is we can plan it, and you've got your little simple plan. So everything should all be good and it should all go smoothly. But as ever, something happens, and maybe you've been thrown off your plan. Something happened, an emergency. Let's say, I don't know, something happened in the morning, and instead of getting up to do your workout or getting your face yoga in, something's happened that's made you not be able to do that. The biggest killer of making a goal a habit is that when you miss one day, you decide that you have failed and that you cannot make this goal a habit anyway. And that is a big problem, because, you know, if you forget to brush your teeth one day, it's not the end of the world, is it? It's not the end of the world if you forget to brush your teeth one day. You're not going to drop down and die. And this is what I'm talking about with habits. We set yourself up, so that first one, expecting too much, so keeping it simple, and then moving on to your keeping it, oh my god, where am I going with that? Keeping it simple helps you keep your expectations on simplicity, and then being able to reach and own that piece of simplicity. And then it's actually easier to add in extras once you get excited about the things that you can do and that you are doing. So don't be put off by the times that you can't make. If you didn't manage to stick to the plan, it's okay. It's only one day and it's not going to ruin the rest of your life. But what is going to ruin your making a goal a habit is that you don't try it again. Because that's the point of a habit, that you do it habitually. We do it all the time. It's a lifestyle choice. So this is the last point that I wanted to talk to you about. Most of the time when we get into making a goal, it's something that actually we really do want and it means a lot to us. So we put too much on it. So let's say my face yoga, you can even put it into losing weight. We can talk about it that way, because I've got so many clients that do this. They decide that they're going to get fit and healthy again. They're going to start working out. They start working out like crazy. And then I'm going to put a good example in here, which is a common example, especially if the weather was a little bit better. Most of us are tending to our gardens around April time. So what happens here is that a lot of people feel used. Their muscles have been used and their bodies have been used, and they've been working out around in that garden all day. And what happens is they've then given themselves a bad back, bad legs, bad bum. They can't work out. So what do? Well, instead of accepting the fact that they've just had a hard day's graft in the garden, they feel like, oh, I didn't do the workout. I'm not good enough. I'm never going to do it. I'm just going to give in. And that is how you ruin a habit. Everybody does a bit of gardening. And some days, some people are going to pay for it. I definitely did. This year I did gardening. I planted 50 bulbs in my garden to watch them grow this year. And I spent 3 days really feeling my hamstrings and my lower back. And usually that's something that I would usually stretch through and feel better about, but actually it put me off of workouts, and I couldn't even work out with my clients because I was stiff and sore from it. But did that ruin my life and make me a non-PT and an absolute failure at workouts? No, it literally just meant that I did the garden and I needed a few days to get over it. It doesn't mean that I failed and that I'm never going to get what I want out of life. So bear that in mind as well. You put too much perfection on yourself, too much expectation to be perfect. And we're not perfect people, actually. We're not robots, can't do everything perfectly well. And we have emotions and other things that get in the way. So even if you have a day that's not warranted, if you just had a day where you didn't do it, oh, this is what I wanted to say before I get off. So yesterday was the day that I was supposed to have started my face yoga. Whoop, 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 whoop. But guess what happened? Something happened. It wasn't even a genuine reason, otherwise I'd be able to tell you about it. But something happened that meant that I couldn't do my face yoga. Now, does that mean that I'm going to get really upset about it and just chuck all my toys out of the pram and decide that, I mean, if I couldn't do it on day one, really, what's the point, right? No, that's bad attitude. Change your attitude. I didn't do it yesterday, but my intentions of doing my face yoga are there. I'm still going to want it even if I don't do my face yoga. So I may as well make the efforts to do it when I can. So I'm going to do my face yoga today. Perfect. And if I get into the mindset of, oh, if I don't do it today, then I'm not going to do it tomorrow, have some accountability, because there is a little bit of laziness within us there. And if you've bothered to make yourself the plan, and if you've bothered to make yourself some time, then be bothered to actually do it. Because there's always going to be that moment of where you don't want to. A lot of people don't want to work out, but we jump out of bed and we do it. So even when you don't feel like it, sometimes we have to, and you'll know that there's a difference between a genuine reason and between you procrastinating and being a little bit lazy about it. So there we go. If you know that underneath it all you still really, really want it, then who cares if you didn't manage to do it today? Who cares if you didn't manage to do it tomorrow? We'll look at the bigger picture here of this is actually a lifestyle choice. And I want to aim to be able to be doing face yoga or fitness every single day. But hey, I'm only human. Sometimes it doesn't happen. And there's no need to get annoyed at myself about that. But I will be accountable for my actions, and I will give it my best shot tomorrow. And there you go. Well, mine's going to be today. I'm actually going to pop off and do my face yoga right now. So I hope that this helped you out a little bit. How you can make a goal, a habit or a permanent thing is to think of it as not just for that moment that you want to do it. It's actually going to be a lifestyle choice. It's going to happen for your whole life right now. I think that there's big power in that. Once you accept that this is something that you're going to do for life, it actually makes it a lot easier for you to get on board with. So a lifestyle choice, not just a quick fix. This is what we're going to do forever. We're going to plan it, and we're going to plan it well. We're going to keep that plan simple. And we are also not going to get overwhelmed with our own expectations, and we're not going to get annoyed at ourselves if we fail to make it happen on the day that we expected it to. Stuff gets in the way all the time. We're just going to pick ourselves up, dust it off, and try again. And that's it, really. So I hope that you people liked my little chat this morning, and do stick around, because I'll be building off this, how you can make little plans, how you can make simple plans, and how you can see this through from just a little idea in your head to actually getting this done, and it's something that you own and that you just do, and it wouldn't have been a want anymore. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed that. Make sure you have a beautiful day, and I will see you all tomorrow for my Work It Wednesday. Tomorrow I'm actually going to be doing a demo on abs and how you can make sure that you have great core engagement when we're doing ab moves. So make sure you check me out for that. I'll see you in the morning. Goodbye.